Well, hey, welcome to the channel. Today, chAt and I will be watching Carl H. I don't know who Carl H is. It's by Cadaver. Chat, who's this? Okay, say hi to YouTube too. Oh, it's 23 minutes. Who is Carl H? Who is Carl H, you guys? The most hated man on Reddit? Oh, YouTube. Alright, we'll just watch this. Hey, Dan, welcome to the stream. Let's watch this. Honestly, you don't have idea either. Cadaver. Who's Cadaver? Alright, we'll find out, I guess. Together.
330 million. That is the amount of active users on internet juggernaut Reddit.
Oh, really?
Most people who are familiar with this site know that it's a place where you can find answers to topics or like-minded people on practically anything. From trying to figure out a song from an old movie to the latest updates on political news. It's also a good place to go when you're trying to learn something or at least get tips on increasing your knowledge about it. Need help on a computer issue? Fixing your credit score? Figuring out that noise your car is making? There are communities and threads that will cover all of that, and so much more. Every day the site is host for millions of people getting assistance like this. Strangers helping strangers, for nothing at all in return. There is the occasional award you can get, but overall there is no monetary gain you will receive. Yet this doesn't dissuade people from continuing to make a positive reputation for themselves. One such individual was at one point one of these helpful people, a man who was praised by thousands of people, who had a nearly flawless stance on the site, and was even given Redditor of the Day. And suddenly it stopped. What followed was not only disgusting and vile, but cemented the fact that you truly do not know a person when it comes to the only interaction with them being through a computer screen. This is the story of how a man who was seemingly helpful and friendly on the outside hid a sinister and dark lifestyle behind closed doors.
Oh no.
This is the story of Carl Harold.
Carl Harold. That's very sussy music, you guys. Very sussy music. I think Carl is sus. Reddit is very dangerous? Yes, it can be. Anything can be dangerous nowadays, sugar. Wonder what.
On September 25th, 2009, a community on Reddit would be created, and it would be called r/Carl H Programming. It was a place where a man going by the handle Carl H would teach anyone programming from beginner level all the way to advanced lessons.
Okay.
If you don't know much or anything at all about programming, let me be the first to tell you from experience that it is not an easy thing to learn. And for those of you who do know how to, I truly do envy you. Being that it is not a particularly easy subject, having the opportunity to learn these things from an expert for free seems to be like a win-win to most people. And that is exactly what Carl's community was directed at, even saying it in his page's bio. An archive for the series of free programming classes taught by Carl Harold, designed for beginners on up. Over time, Carl's audience and reputation increased, being known as a genuinely nice guy who was both informative and passionate about teaching and programming. He was even eventually named Redditor of the Day on July 26, 2012. All of that changed in November of 2013. Things on Carl's page seemed to go silent. There were other Redditors out there commenting on prior posts and all seemed normal for the time, yet after days had turned into a week and still nobody had heard from the man himself, some people began to wonder if something was going on. His YouTube channel was as well silent, and it seemed he wasn't active on any social media. People chalked it up to him being busy with his personal things, or possibly he's sick, or maybe he just wanted to take a couple weeks off from life. None of those were the case, however. And for the people who lived in the Alabama area, they were the first to hear the truth. And the truth sent a shockwave that would devastate the community.
Okay, what did he do?
New information tonight in the case of a man charged with producing and distributing child pornography.
Oh,
WH's 19's Daniela Paralon joins us now live in Huntsville with those details.
Those are the worst type of people.
Police Carl Philip Harold was arrested on several charges of child pornography related charges just last month. Initially, law enforcement officials were tight-lipped about what those charges entailed, but tonight court documents are showing what led to those charges. 3 charges equally disturbing. Carl Philip Harold has been charged with production of pornography with a minor, production and display of child pornography, and permitting a child to engage in pornography. Court documents show Harold is accused of knowingly producing, recording, and photographing images of a 9-year-old boy. According to documents, the video recorded the child as he was being sodomized and sexually tortured. Further charges accuse Harold of publicly sharing the videos and images of the sexual abuse. We stop by...
I don't know.
Carl Harold was arrested for multiple counts of producing and distributing child pornography. He was as well responsible for holding a child captive for 8 months with no outside interaction nor schooling. Who he depicted in his child pornography and the child that was held captive was Carl's own son. Naturally, when the news broke on this, it quickly made its way to Reddit, since multiple news sources and law enforcement flocked to his page to investigate. And Redditors were absolutely shocked. At first, many thought they had the wrong person, as there would be no way it could be the same. Some flat out refused to believe a man this helpful and kind would be responsible for these heinous actions. Yet, as much as people didn't want to believe, it was still nonetheless true. And when people on the site started realizing and ultimately accepting that this was in fact the same Carl Harold, it quickly led to an internet crucifixion.
Thank you, I don't care. Ugh. Rest in pain.
Which he deserved. His reputation ruined and facing multiple counts of child endangerment, torture, and a slew of other vile charges. Once he was arrested, it was quickly learned that he had a partner by the name of Charles Dunavant, who was as well charged with the same crimes, as he was fully taking part in these atrocious acts as well.
It's just talking about a story.
Both
like
Harold and Dunavant were originally placed on a $150,000 bond.
There's people
but that quickly went up to $1 million due to the nature of their crimes and how they were deemed a threat to society. Harold denied the allegations against him, and during several hearings, he was stated as being positive and in high spirits that he would win his case. How he felt this way, I have no idea, because from what I have read about the evidence against him, it was extremely overwhelming for a conviction. It was learned that the abuse began in August of 2011, and the reason he was discovered was due to the pictures of his son being found online, which the FBI saw and contacted Huntsville, Alabama law enforcement. And the investigation from this led to his arrest. Faced with 18 counts in multiple states, the entire court proceedings were just getting started when in November of 2014, while in the middle of an extradition to New York, Carl Harold was found hanged in his jail cell. Carl Harold was dead. With his death, the case against him stalled and only cemented his guilt in the eyes of most of the public. Charles was eventually sentenced to a total of 56 years in prison, and even though many think he should have received the death penalty, knowing that he will spend the rest of his life, if he even makes it that far, in prison, was solace to some, knowing these evil men would never be able to harm another child. There was a third man who was arrested for his involvement, named Mark Bedwell, yet I couldn't find anything on him in terms of court cases. The only information I could find was that he didn't live in the US. I couldn't find much information on Carl's son, and honestly, I'm thankful for that. The child has been through things that nobody should ever have to experience, and I think it would be best for him and his well-being to simply be left alone from all of this. Hopefully he has received treatment for the mental and physical abuse he suffered, and that he is on the road to improving his life, and leaving his dark past just there, in the past. There was an instance, though, where Reddit didn't seem to be done with Carl Harold.
Okay.
Or
the dude
perhaps
is-
it was the other way around.
Oh,
In
no.
late 2018, a post was made on Reddit where the poster claimed to be Carl, and that he faked his death. And
What?
honestly, it's bullshit. I don't even want to entertain the idea that this monster could potentially be alive, and giving into that whole idea just fuels speculation and stirs a pot, and there is no need to just fuck it. What you could take away from all of this is that you truly can never know a person online. They may seem genuine, nice, and even friendly. They may boost your ego, fill you with hope, and even maybe help you learn a new skill. But once they step away from their computer and enter back into their real persona, they could very well be someone you'd never want to meet beyond a computer screen. I know that this story was not particularly a happy one, but to some, the outcome may have had a happy ending, so I guess you're welcome. But hey, if you like this content, if you liked my video, if you liked my voice, if you liked the thumbnail, maybe consider subscribing. It lets me know that you actually enjoy this content.
Well, I mean, I do understand some of this can be very inappropriate and stuff like that, and I apologize because I don't know, what it is. But I do agree with the narrator. It's stuff like this. It's still good to know about it, just to kind of give you an understanding that when you do, I mean, like, you really don't know anybody that's, you know, you honestly don't really know anybody in their personal life, especially online, especially Reddit or Twitter or whatever, even on you guys really don't know me either. So you guys just have to be a little bit more careful when you share your information. So I think this is actually a very good thing to do. Hey IDK, welcome to the stream. I think it's a very important message, Don't don't, tell everything about yourself or anything that people can, use against you. Okay? That's very important. Even in this chat. I love this chat. This chat is awesome and stuff like that. But you still do need to be safe, okay? You guys just need to be safe. Don't tell your too much personal information on there. Even though I know you guys really enjoyed this chat and really talking to everybody really nice, and everybody's very nice in this chat, and I want to keep it that way. But you really don't know that person in real life, and you don't know what they are. So keep it very cordial, but be a little bit more protective of yourself, okay? Not just, I mean, just even to me. Don't share your personal information to me. Very personal information to me. I really don't need it. I really don't need it because because it just get very heavy on me because it happened, when a few times when I was actually streaming, I have a few people that come in. I don't know if Slip is still here, but there was a one or two people in there that will share way too much information, and I keep trying to stop them from telling me all their personal information because I don't want to know, because I feel really unsafe with knowing all this information. And I kind of worry for that person because if they can tell me all this information, what are they telling the other people, So you guys just need to be careful out there, okay? You just let this Uncle fOnzEE have a really good sleep and not worry about you guys being, all right. All right. Don't let those people, do that stuff. All right. So it'll be a lot more ease of mind for your Uncle fOnzEE here, okay? All right. No father. No father thing. Random. You're not my random kid. No father. I can't afford you kids. There'll be too many kids in here. That's why I'm just your cool I'm your cool uncle, but never your father. I can't afford it. You're too expensive. You guys are way too expensive to be my kids. All my kids. But you can definitely be my nieces and nephews. All right. Yeah, not to support. Child support would be way too expensive for you guys. Or for me. For me, it's way too expensive. All right. We got that. Okay. Since that all that really craziness, now I need a nice and wholesome video.